Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I am your host Nathan Lyle, and this is WNBA Weekly, the show where I recap what some of the action that's gone down in the past few days, and then talk about some of the action that's going to go down in the next few days. First, we'll talk about all the action that went down on Tuesday. The Fever got off to a great start. They had 4 players in double figures, led by 18 from Christmas and a double-double from Larkins. But behind the Maya Moore double-double had 15 points and led her team with 12 rebounds, also added 6 assists and 3 steals. And Siemone Augustus leading the team with 18 points, including a buzzer-beating putback to give the Lynx their 10th straight win. And then the Mystics, they stepped up defensively as New York shot only 28% from the floor, while Washington had 4 players in double figures led by 16 points from Latta, and the Mystics, they grab a win. And then Chiney missed the game, but the Suns still had 4 players in double figures led by 15 points from their other rookie, Alyssa Thomas. But the Sky also had 4 players in double figures led by 20 points from Prince and a Fowles double-double. The Sky win their 3rd straight and are now in the playoffs, rising all the way up to the 3rd seed. And then Angel McCoughtry led the team with 19 points, and Sancho Little led the team with 12 rebounds and 7 steals. Great defensive effort from her. But the Mercury had 4 players in double figures. Griner nearly had a triple-double with 14 points, and she also led her team with 9 rebounds and 9 blocks. And the Mercury, they grab a win. And then Nneka, she had a career high on the night, 35 points. Parker added 28 points and ties her career high with 9 assists. And the two of them combined for 63 of the team's total points. They had 90 points on the game, so the two of them alone scored 2/3 of the team's total points. But the Shock's big 3 came into play. Sims had 30 points, Glory Johnson, Skylar Diggins, they both had 18 each, and the Shock, they're able to grab the win. Then on Thursday, the Sky had 3 players in double figures led by 20 from Quigley, but the Lynx had 3 players scoring double figures as well, including Maya Moore, who just padded the stat sheet. She had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a block. The Lynx win their 11th straight game, ending Chicago's 3-game winning streak. Then the Stars, they had 3 players in double figures led by 24 from Gia Perkins, coming off the bench hitting 5 of 7 from 3-point range. But the Mercury had 4 players in double figures led by 20 points and 18 rebounds from Dupree, and the Mercury, they win their 3rd straight while handing the Stars their 3rd straight loss. And then the Dream, they had 3 players in double figures led by 16 from Hayes, but the Storm, wow, they were just on fire tonight. They came out with some effort and some intensity. They had 4 players in double figures led by 21 points and 13 rebounds from Crystal Langhorne, as Seattle wins its 2nd straight and Atlanta has now lost 3 in a row. And after all that excitement, here are the current standings. And just a few news and notes I want to mention. For one thing, Becky Hammon has been hired as the assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs. She's the first female to ever be named to a full-time coaching position, not only in the NBA, but in all major sports like NFL, MLB, MLS, all that good shit. There have been 2 assistant coaches in the NBA before. One of them, though, she was in the D-League, which is not officially NBA, it's an NBA affiliate. And the other one, she volunteered as a temporary part-time head assistant coach for the Cavs. So yeah, of course, congratulations to Becky. Been a huge fan of hers for as long as I've been watching the WNBA, and I wish her all the best of luck for the rest of this season and for every season on in her coaching career. Also, I specifically tried to stay away from stats because a lot of people in previous seasons with this and other shows have told me that I was focusing too much on stats. They want to hear more of my opinion, so I've been trying to lean away from those. But a few things I want to mention. I mean, last year in the league we had the 3 to see, but then, injuries and just bad play overall. Elena Deladine easily stood out above the rest, but with her injury this year, the other 2 have really taken the spotlight. Brittany Griner, she now sets the WNBA franchise mark for blocks in a single season, and while Skylar Diggins, she has become the shot franchise leader in points in a season and assists in a season, and there's still a few games left for both of them to play. I think they both have 4 or 5 games still left on the season, so they're going to keep adding to those numbers. So this weekend we've got a full slate of action. Starting on Friday, you've got Washington at Indiana at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if Indiana wins this game, they'll grab the 2nd seed from Washington, but a Mystics win will extend their lead on that 2nd seed and close the gap a little on that number 1 Atlanta. Because even Atlanta, because they've been losing so much of late, there's a chance that the Mystics could overtake them if they go on a long winning streak and Atlanta keeps losing. I don't really expect that to happen. I kind of expect Atlanta, they just need to grab a couple wins, 2 or 3, I think, to secure it. But right now the possibility is open. Then you've got Connecticut at New York at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm just going to say it like this. New York, with one win, they could find themselves back in the playoffs, while Connecticut, honestly, if they're not eliminated by the next time I do a video, I'll be shocked. Then you've got San Antonio at Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and right now the Stars are on a long losing streak, and the Shock are only 2 games behind them for that 4th spot, with plenty of games left in the season. So this is one the Stars really can't afford to lose, or they will definitely be on the bubble. If they can grab a win here, then Tulsa, will be 3 games behind them now. We are with Seattle right behind Tulsa, possibly even switching by the end of the weekend. Who knows? With the way the Storm have played, there's enough games left in the season that if you're San Antonio, you should still have some fear. If you're the Storm or the Shock, you should still have some hope. Then there's Atlanta at Los Angeles at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and both of these teams have had their struggles in the second half of the season, but they are both talented teams, and the one thing that I can't ignore is the fact that LA still has the worst home record in the league. They've lost twice as many home games as they've won. Then on Saturday, you've got Minnesota at Phoenix at NBA TV at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the only game being played, so unless you're just not at home, you should really watch it. Because last time they met, Minnesota defended home court advantage, ended the Mercury's winning streak, but now they're back in Phoenix where the Mercury have only lost 1 game all season, way back in May. So for this game, I'm going to say that they're going to flip the script. This time you see the Mercury ending the Lynx winning streak and almost putting a secure lockdown hold on that number 1 spot. Almost. It'll still be open. They won't officially clinch, but a win here will make them feel a lot more secure in it. Then on Sunday, you've got Indiana at New York on NBA TV at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and only half a game separates the 2 of them right now, so they're both hungry, should put up a good fight. Indiana, the only Eastern Conference team with a winning record on the road. Then you've got Washington at Connecticut at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Connecticut has just struggled overall. They had 1 long winning streak where they had won like 6 in a row, but since that ended, they've won 3 of their last 15 games. Then you've got Los Angeles at San Antonio at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this game could put San Antonio back into 3rd place. It could knock them out of the playoffs completely. Depending on how the weekend unfolds, there are a lot of different storylines that could be taking part at the start of this contest. Either way, it should be fun. San Antonio versus LA is a good rivalry. The Stars have managed to beat LA the last 2 times they played. Then you've got Atlanta at Chicago at the NBA TV at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And since Della Don returned, they went 3 in a row. Their only loss coming to Minnesota, one of the best teams in the league, likely to defend their title if they can get past Phoenix in the playoffs. And the season series between Atlanta and Chicago so far 2-2, but Chicago has never faced Atlanta like this healthy. They've got Della Don, Fowles, and Prince in there. So I think this is gonna be a good matchup. I expect Chicago to win it, just because Atlanta, they've been playing so poorly lately, so poorly. Then you got Tulsa at Seattle on NBA TV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and both of these teams are still technically in the playoff hunt. Though as of recording this, I don't expect either of them to get in. But if either of them wants to prove me wrong, a win here is vital. Well, that's it for this edition of WNBA Weekly. Tune in on Monday for another all-new episode. But until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lau. Have a great weekend.